So there's over 500 natural laws which have been discovered by a network of teams and professionals and individuals all around the world over the last 20 years. These are the laws which govern the universe and success for every human being on this planet. In order to achieve and live our life visions, we have to first make ourselves aware of these laws. And then we consciously and subconsciously begin to leverage them in everything we do. These are the strings that weave together the DNA for people. And they weave that through the systems in the DNA for business. And they're the lever points that we pull in those moments when those opportunities are presented to really take advantage. We have a few minutes. I'm curious if anyone else in here really has a natural law that they'd like to share, which they feel has pushed their life visions, pushed them to achieve their life visions in any way.
Think about the giving to people.
Giving to people.
Then actually at the end, people give more back to you.
Okay. Nancy?
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, there's lots. We're going through the natural laws right now, the three of us, which I would encourage everyone to do, page 37, 38. So the last one that I can remember was the 5 H's, and how that kind of goes back into my life vision. So it's like, it's the hands, being able to have the hands to do something. It's the hope that things will move along and of others. It's the head knowledge. I can't actually do it unless I have the head knowledge. It's the heart. What my heart is. What's my motivation about people. And the fifth one is help. Help me. It's the help. I think I realized that there's one key one that you really need, and that's I think it's the kind of sets the tone for all the four to actually happen. So, yeah, they're all really great, and I would encourage people to take the time to do them and spend 6 minutes and go through that whole, there's hundreds of them.
Cool. Since we didn't get that fixed, I'll step in for Lee. So what she had sent in, and at first I was like, why'd you go with this one? But after I kind of put this together and I listened to it, I was like, man, what an incredible natural law. And she sent in the Mach 1 principle. And it's such an incredible law. And the story behind it is, was it Jaeger? So Chuck Yeager, he's the first human being to break the sound barrier. And so he's not the first to try. And so what happened was all of these pilots, these test pilots, they would get in the plane, they would run it up. The scientists would tell them it works. They would get there, they would start approaching this sound barrier, and the plane would start shaking. Like crazy shaking, like shaking you probably think you felt at times in your life, but probably even worse and scarier. And they would back off the throttle, and they would come back to normal, they'd come back to what they knew, they would come back to safe. And they would fail. And they wouldn't be asked to try again, and they wouldn't try again. And this happened over and over and over. And so finally, Chuck Yeager comes along, and the scientists tell him, the science is sound. The plane is right. Just do it. So Yeager gets in his plane and he takes off and he pushes it. And he pushes it and he's starts shaking like crazy, like the plane's gonna start falling apart. And what's he do? What's he do different? He was told the system had integrity. He was told the plane had integrity. He had a vision for something huge. He didn't care about death. He didn't back off. He pushed it forward, like crazy pushed it forward, and zoom, he punches through. And all of a sudden, he's past the sound barrier, and everything smooths out. And it's probably the most amazing feeling anyone's ever felt in their life. And what happens, and this happens with our lives too, is we push and we decide we're gonna go. And then all of a sudden, like, crazy things start falling apart in our lives. Like, people that we love start to doubt what's going on, or we start making these changes in people's normal routines and lives. And it starts coming around us and it creates turmoil and life starts to shake like crazy. So we back off. And then we don't go anywhere. And guess what happens? We approach it again. And we go through all that pain. But what happens if we have a life vision bigger than that moment? And what happens if, instead of backing off, we go? We run, we go for it. And we punch through that sound barrier. And all of a sudden, all of this shake falls behind us. It normalizes. It's part of every day. It's not a big deal anymore. It's just part of what's there. People get used to it. They normalize to you. And then you get to do something more incredible. Because all of that's behind you. And you have more pain and suffering to go to. But you can do it bigger, and you can bring more people along, and you can help more people. And that's what's incredible about the Mach 1 principle with Life Vision.
One of the things in getting through that Mach 1, since we made it through, even if there is difficulty on the other side, we can go back to realizing we made it through that, we can make it through this.
Absolutely. Thank you. Wow. Probably the most important part about that story. Thank you. No one else? Anyone else have questions?
I'm convinced, told that, I mean, that's such a good story, such a good example.
Cool. Thank you. Matt?
Where can we find DNA for life-laws.com?
I check your email because I bet you get at least 2 a day.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, DNA for life-laws.com. And then free cool stuff on the top.
I think probably other than Aaron and Lisa, everybody in this room probably for the last 40 days or so has gotten 2 emails a day walking you through. And if you look at mine, I have a link on there that'll take you to that homepage, to the very first one. It'll rock your life. This is my second time through. First time was invitation by Alan, and then when I started to back off because I didn't have time, it was being called out by Alan. And it changed the way I saw things that I did with this group. It changed the way I saw things that I do in the office with all the people there. It changed the way that I deal with my wife and my children. It changes so many things when you give yourself that opportunity to make it a part of your life.